Do-rag Diaries. What's good, people? Tottenham 4, you know? Clean sheet at the Etihad, you know? We ain't playing games. We ain't playing games. Welcome back to another match reaction. Here with your boy, George. As you know, when you check in, please, before we get into anything, before we talk about the jubilation that happened this weekend, can we get a like on the video? Can we get a like for Spurs beating City? Can we get a like for City downfall? Make sure it's for all of them, if not one of them. As well as that, make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you want to make sure you're up to date with all my video uploads, like this Monday morning, every Monday morning, match reaction video, slap the post notification bell. Apart from that, I'm sure you've got a City fan that you wanna ruin their morning already. Send them this video, share them the link. That's what it's all about. Let's keep the algorithm up. Let's make sure more people can find this video, but let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Kulusevski, live and direct at the DEKIHAD. What a performance it was. What a performance from the boys. Champagne football. That's what you call it. Now, we know going into this game that I wasn't very confident. I didn't go around on a lot of channels saying we're going to do a madness. But one thing I've been confident and one thing I've been consistent with is my manager, Postecoglou. Ange Postecoglou. He knew what he was doing. They said he was Postecoglou before the weekend. He made the changes. No Romero. No Van der Ven. No Bentancur. No Richarlison. No Odegaard. That's 5 first-team players. No problem. No problem, because we're going to turn up to the Etihad with Davies and Dragusin at the back now. If you ain't seen it already, go watch the watch-along against Galatasaray. My head was gone. I was calling these man all types of names. All types of... But now, man, I'm calling him the Welsh Wall. The Welsh Wall in down. It was, do you know, a very, very disciplined performance from our back line. You have to give it to them. I feel like although all the criticism they've had so far is warranted, the performance that they put in at the Etihad was absolute class. Just exactly what we needed. Ben Davies captaining, gathering that back line at the defense. He wasn't necessarily captain, but you know he's the most senior player in there. Definitely worked that back line really well. They wasn't finding us out. They wasn't catching us out as many times as other teams had this season, especially down on that right flank and the left flank. The left-hand side, we can speak about it. Pedro Porro, it's always a bit of an issue. There was way too much space over there when they were cutting balls back across the box, and my heart skipped a few beats. But Haaland, stay humble, eh? Stay humble, eh? My man was talking too much. He only scored 2 goals since then. Only scored 10. None of them against us. None of them against us. He don't want it when it comes to playing against Spurs. Haaland don't even know about turning up in them fixtures. But we started the downfall, and I think we've ended the downfall with City. First win and loss of 5 was against us, and the last loss of 5 was against us. Let's go into the specifics of the game, man. Let's actually talk about the game and the actual performance, because for me, that's probably the best performance I've seen for Spurs, attacking-wise anyway. I've seen us under 100% the best attacking display we've had at the end. We was controlled from minute one. We didn't really rush too far forward when we got the ball, because I feel like the problem has been in a lot of the games is we're attacking too much. There's not really... There's no load management of the amount of times we're going to attack, when we're going to speed it up, when we're going to slow it down. It's just straight basketball. As we said, basketball, transition, football, end-to-end stuff. There's been times where you need to, manage and control the game. We've done that so well in the first half. The first 15 minutes, City were peppering us down, peppering that back line. They're creating opportunities. I can't even lie. There was a few chances Haaland had, and you're like, on a good day, he would have put them away. And Do you know, credit to the back line. I feel like the back line, although we gave up a few chances, none of them were clear-cut opportunities. A lot of them were at the edge of the box, getting rolled back. And it's one of those ones that some really solid saves from Vicario. But onwards after those first 10 minutes, as we scored the first goal. And let's talk about that first goal, because the ball gets shifted all the way out to Kulusevski. 1v1 against Gvardio. When the ball, it lands at his feet, man chops it back inside. Send him shot. And then the ball in for, oh my God. If you guys don't remember, there was a cross 3-2 at the Etihad few seasons ago into Kane from Kulusevski. This was similar. Peach of a ball. Perfect. As Madden said, he didn't even need to break his stride. The ball comes swinging in from the right-hand side, off the left foot, curling in towards the goal, and all Madders had to do was just stroke it in, and that was 1-0. Onwards from then, we was just dangerous in every attack. We were smelling blood. City looked uncomfortable. They looked confused. They didn't know what was going on. And that's exactly how the second goal came. We kept up the pressure. We kept, three-man pressing that back line. And yet again, the press trigger, Gvardio, he's had a stinker yesterday. He had a stinker because he loses the ball. It's a bit of a mess on the edge of the Man City box. I believe Maddison picked it up, plays the ball into the Son, and then the run from Maddison, the little shadow run, go all the way around. No one was watching. No one expected that. The run from Maddison was absolutely class. It's just pure class. If you watch it again, make sure you watch it again. He brings it into Son. Son gets the ball, cuts inside to his right to let them think that he's gonna shoot, and then the reverse pass. Aki didn't know, not Aki. Stones didn't know what hit him, bro. Stones didn't know what was going on. Maddison threw chip over the goalkeeper, 2-0. At that point, I'd say I was confident. That's when the confidence was slowly building in me. I was like, today's gonna be our day. Today is gonna be our day. And from then, it was just very controlled, very well worked. I feel like the team really got together and understood the assignment. And just team talk really went well in the second half, because the biggest problem for Spurs this season has been when we go into a second half down, or if we're up, similarly into the Brighton game, we come out and those first 10 minutes are key. Even games when we're down, I always say the first 10 minutes of the second half, you know what Spurs is going to come out for that rest of that game. And we showed that first 10 minutes of that City half was, we ain't giving up. This game is ours. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep the same energy, the same belief that we had in that first half. We're going to keep that going into the second. And that's exactly what happened, man. I was really impressed with Ange and the fact that he didn't rush to make substitutions. A lot of people were thinking, let's throw on some defensive guys in there. We're 2-0 up. We need to protect the lead. The team was playing good. I don't think we needed any changes. One guy was a little bit disappointed in was Basuma. Yet again, we want someone, knowing that Bentancur is going to be out for the next 6 more Premier League games. I wanted to see a performance from someone that, he's fighting for his position. He sees, this is my opportunity. I'm going to take it. But he doesn't look like he wants to be fed, man. He's looking like a homeless man that you're offering to, they're asking for money. And then you're like, no, let me go and shop for your food. And he's going, no. That's what my man's doing, bro. Don't buy the hands that feed. We're giving you game time. Why is man flying into challenges 1 minute in? 1 minute in, man's flying into challenges, trying to clean man out and gets a yellow card. Rest of the game, I was shook. I can't lie. I was waiting for the red card to come. I was thinking, this guy's going to kill us. And if we lose him, then we got no DM for 3 games. It's dark. It really gets dark. But the midfield was really good. And, I haven't even spoke about him. I don't know how I can go 10 minutes into this video and not speak about him. If you watch my instant match reaction, you really know what man I'm talking about. James Maddison. Actually, I did speak about the goal, but I didn't speak about his performance because a lot has been said on him. A lot has been said on him. I even had a video in my drafts about him a few weeks ago, but I let it stay in the drafts for a reason, because I just thought I'm going to give him a bit more time. And that was a performance. That was one that he's been waiting for, one that he needed. Definitely a performance that he needed, because a lot of people have been questioning his ability to contribute at a higher level for Spurs. Because at Leicester, he's getting some good GA, good numbers. But at the moment for Spurs in his Spurs career, he's not been consistent across a solid game span. And he hasn't turned up in any of the big games, barring maybe the 2-2 against Arsenal last year. But that's a 2-2, man. I ain't talking about no draws. Turn up is a win. Turn up is what we saw yesterday. But it was very good from Madders, man. Very, very good from Madders yesterday. I was really impressed with the way that he was dropping into the spaces, picking up the ball, turning, doing little 1-2s with Sarr. You could tell from he got that first goal, the confidence just carried him through that game. He looked like a man who believed he could do anything on that ball. Just playing with the freedom, gliding through Man City's midfield, gun to gun. Rico Lewis, bro, they was a mess, an absolute mess in midfield. And I feel like Pep set them up completely wrong, if I'm to be honest. I feel like beating that Tottenham team, although I sit here and say again, that was our best performance. That's a statement performance under Ange. Like, I'm probably going to look back on Ange's career at Spurs. That'll be one of the games you mentioned, that 4-0 game against City. That's proper Ange ball. But outside of that, I feel like City probably could have set up in ways that would have impacted our game more. What Pep needed to do was see that the press triggers were Ben Davies and Dragusin. Press them higher. Get those legs in. Make sure you're not giving them no space on the ball. But they didn't do it. I was so impressed with the way that Dragusin and Davies were playing out from the back. Although I did think they were playing it back to the keeper a lot. Ultimately, they didn't lose the ball that much. They were doing what was in their capabilities. I didn't want to ask them for too much, because we saw in Galatasaray, Karabag, the game in between that, AZ Alkmaar, that when these guys are on the ball trying to play out from the back, trying to do the line breaking thing, it's just not in there. They ain't got the facilities for that. It's not in their locker. So adjusting the game a little to suit to what they can do was definitely needed. But huge win ultimately. Big 3 points. We needed it. We definitely needed those 3 points after the fact that we dropped the points in Ipswich. And if you look at the table now, if we just beat Ipswich and Palace, we'd be second. We would be second. And this is what makes it hurt even more as a Spurs fan, because it's always the small games. It's always the 2 fixtures where we should have won that is just preventing us from being here. But ultimately, this is a big win for us. Big confidence booster, one that we should take going into the midweek game against Roma, with it being at home. Europa League is needed. And also, we've got the game against Fulham. I think it's Fulham or Bournemouth on the weekend, which, again, they're a tough team. They've picked up points against some big sides. So we're going to need to make sure that we stay at the top level that we've showed we could be at in this game. But it was a huge win. Huge win. Jubilation. We needed that. It was literally much needed win. And shout out to the boys. Shout out to the boys, because statement performance. I just need to see us build on from here. I need us to build. I don't want to take a step back. I need to take steps forward. But let's go onwards into the Roma game. Should be having more content drop for you guys today, tomorrow, all week. In fact, I may be doing a watch along for the Roma game, so keep an eye out for that. If you haven't already and you've been watching this whole video, you already know what I'm going to say. Like the damn thing. It helps with the algorithm. It makes other people find the videos and brings them to the channel. And that's what we're all about, man. That's what we're all about. So big up to everyone inside. Big up to everyone that stay locked in. This has been another Do-Right Diaries match reaction. And yeah, man, City fans, welcome to DEKIHAD.